What is the best way to spend a special day here in Bali?
Since it's Bali, it has to start with chasing some hidden waterfalls. We'll need a scooter, strong enough to get me up the mountains, but still weak enough to make sure Josie has to walk. Wading through some raging rivers and crossing what might just be the sketchiest bridge ever built for vehicles. And if we're doing this right, it should end with creating something that will keep forever.
Yeah, that should do it. We are here at a restaurant called Lunar Moon with an absolutely beautiful view. Big ride day, 2 hours each way, but we're gonna eat first, fill our bellies, and then hit the road. I ordered a iced cookie caramel latte. Let's see if it's as good as it looks. Wow. Wow. It's very sweet, but it's very good. And it's got the cookie in there, so it's like a bit grainy.
I ordered a vegetarian rice bowl with blue rice called butterfly rice.
I got the big breakfast and it looks delicious. Oh, wow. Wow. We're off to a good start. Breakfast is finished. Time to get back on the road. Head on out of here. Thank you. People come to Bali and they say, didn't like it. Oh, where'd you go? Ubud and Canggu. Yeah, okay, fair enough. You gotta come out here. You gotta experience the little villages where the kids wave to you as you drive by. I came here 14 years ago and that's what it was like. Kids would wave because they were excited to see a Westerner.
We just bought this mangosteen. This is the best fruit in the world. I tried it the first time in Vietnam 8 years ago, and for some reason you can't buy them in Europe at all, and I haven't been back to Asia since then. So this was like the first thing I bought when we came to Bali.
Sort of mango-y.
Peachy almost.
Yeah.
So good.
Hello. Well, Google Maps always seems to do something funny for us, and I think it's taken us on a strange route because we've come across this sign that says no cars. A Balinese guy just pulled up on his scooter and he said it's very steep, but you can do it on a motorbike. So we'll give it a shot, but we're going up there into the jungle. You ready?
I don't know.
Let's give it a shot.
Here we go.
There's quite a bit of moss on the road, so it might be a bit slippery. Oh, feet down.
Nope. Alright, I'm walking.
But still weak enough to make sure Josie has to walk.
This is crazy steep. I'm even struggling to walk up it.
Look at the rice fields, they're all starting to sprout. Back on.
If anybody knows what that sound is, let us know in the comments.
The bike has made it to the top. It's smelling a little bit though. Really pushed it up that hill. There comes Josie. I hope we don't have to go back down that way.
Oh, there's another way out, I think. Oh God, I'm gonna pass out.
Best anniversary ever? Well, we didn't want to go get a massage or something very normal. We wanted to have an experience that we'd remember for our anniversary.
I think we'll remember this. Do you remember that time where I drove a scooter up a mountain and you had to climb it?
Back onto a normal road.
That is incredible. Put my best hiking shoes on for the occasion. We're gonna have to cross a river to get over. I think plastic shoes are pretty good for that.
I was not aware that we were going to be walking through rivers on this journey.
We just walked through the river with the shoes on and it went very good.
pretty good, the first waterfall. I think the second one's going to be even better. The camera is wet as hell, but we made it.
This is insane. It's like we're in a rainstorm, but it's just coming from the waterfall. I feel like I've had a shower. Soaking. How you feeling?
Oh, wet. So all the water that you see falling around me, it is not rain. That is the power and force of this waterfall. We are soaking wet. We should have got into our bathers. That's the tip. If you come here, wear your bathers before you arrive. Woo!
We had a long ride ahead of us, so it was time to make our way back across the river, up the stairs and back on the bike, where once again steep roads meant Josie was back to walking. We did eventually find an easier route though through the mountains and started heading back towards Ubud, past the place where we'd had breakfast earlier that morning, and not long after spotted a fruit stall, which felt like the perfect excuse to give our butts a rest.
Just pulled over on the side of the road, Josie's gotten some fruit.
Does 200 seem a lot for this?
Yep, that face says it all. Look, I always tip wherever I go, but there's something about being ripped off that turns me into Jordan Belfort's dad real quick.
$26,000 worth of sides? What are these sides? They cure cancer?
That night, we ditched the cameras and headed out for our anniversary dinner. Just the two of us, and our phones. And judging by Josie's face, I'd say she was very happy with her choice, especially when it came with a view. The next day we had even more big plans ahead of us. Day 2 of our anniversary started early as we made our way towards Sidemen. Sidemen is a beautiful rural area that honestly feels untouched, about 1.5 hours away from Ubud. We drove past endless rice fields where locals were drying their harvest right there on the side of the road. The roads got narrower, the bridges got creakier, and I'll admit, there was a moment where I started second guessing our route. But somehow, we made it. Today was about building something to remember our anniversary for years to come. Not just a memory, but an actual piece of art. Something we wouldn't just take home with us, but something we'd get to create together. The first step was choosing our designs. Once that was locked in, we weighed out the silver we'd need for each ring. From start to finish, our teacher, Jata, walked us through the entire process, explaining every step along the way. Then, it was time to melt the silver down into liquid.
But it's very hot, sir. 960 degrees.
Ooh.
Maybe next time you do class with the other shop, yeah. Maybe if after you melting color doesn't change like this, yeah. This is pure silver, madam. Maybe if maybe the change color, maybe you look little bit orange or little bit black. This is not real silver. They combine with the brown or copper. This is your material ring first.
Is it hot?
No.
Okay. Can I take it?
Yes, no problem. Don't worry about that.
It was just on fire, so
Yeah, because this is material is pure, not until 1 minute they cool down. Right.
okay.
A square like this, yeah.
Gotta get that barking out.
Mine isn't as even.
So now we gotta melt it down a little bit again to soften the silver.
Because my ring was flat and quite a bit thicker, this part went pretty quickly. Josie's, on the other hand, was meant to be much thinner, so it had to go through the press quite a few more times to get it nice, long and thin. Once the silver was stretched out, it was time to take it from being flat to rounded.
First time hitting it up.
That's why we're pulling it through these different sized circles. Each one gets slightly smaller, shaving off just a little bit of the ring every time, slowly turning it into its final shape.
Round already, yeah. But this is I must burn again to make it more easy to bend later. Yeah.
Okay. Round 4. The material that we melted down was a lot more than what we're actually going to use. It's actually for 10 rings. More?
More. Hard. Pull. Careful.
Pull.
I'm trying. I'm sweaty.
You pull here.
Like this?
Yeah, it's good.
More?
More. Depend on your request. You need like this bigger. Yeah. Go. Okay, stop.
This is my design.
So now we are at the workbench and we are going to start making our design for our rings. So, this is fun.
Yeah.
It's hot, but it's fine.
Way too much. I'm gonna do it again.
Time to softly flatten out the piece of silver.
This is the kind of design that we're going for. He's looked so much better. The 6th time you've had to hit yours on. So now Josie has to fill in the gap of the ring so that there's no hole.
At this point, they decided to take over. I don't think they fully trusted us to get this part right. That's when our piece of silver finally became an actual ring. From there, it was all about the finishing touches, sanding it down and polishing it up.
Having fun, baby?
Yes.
And just like that, something that started as raw silver became something that we will both keep forever. The perfect way to remember our 5-year anniversary.
All right, all done.
Really good.
Looking good.
We both did them for our middle fingers, which means that we can't show just that finger, so I'm showing the whole hand.
Because Josie's is so thin, unfortunately she was not able to engrave it, but I was able to engrave mine. It says Penyu, which is Indonesian for turtle, which has a significant meaning to me. The first time I came to Bali, I actually saw a turtle in the Gili Islands in the first 15 seconds of being in the water. And I just took it for granted and moved on, and I never saw another turtle. So for me it means seize the moment, enjoy the moment, and the Indonesian word for it, since we're in Bali, I think just fits so perfectly. I appreciate it.
Have a nice day. Eh?
Thank you, you too. Thank you. Well, I think that truly was the best way to spend a special day here in Bali.